I don't know if you've heard this bit of news that's just breaking, but this looks like a massive escalation. China and US are going to be engaged in what appears to be a massive, game of one-upmanship, and this isn't really going to benefit anyone if the tariffs are going to go up to 50%.
Well, it's not a great situation. However, if you've studied Donald Trump over the years, it has been far greater than 30 years. Donald Trump has been talking about these issues with other countries. He has long stated that the United States has been taken advantage of. He finds himself in a position where he believes that he can now do something about it, and he is acting. I do not anticipate that Donald Trump is going to back off. I do believe he will sit down with other nations to strike a deal which he believes is more fair for the United States. But if nations are not going to try to negotiate something out to come to a compromise of some sort, I am not surprised that he's escalating the situation with China. And I personally believe he will continue to do so because he believes he has the leverage of the U.S. economy to do it. So it becomes, who has the greatest tolerance for this pain? Is it the United States or is it other countries? Someone is going to fold at some point. I don't think it's going to be Donald Trump.
I want to bring in Dan on one important aspect, though. Dan, we are seeing pressure coming from the Congress. There's potential pressure coming in from citizens if prices do rise. But, several of the corporates and Wall Street, in fact, has started to speak out. We've seen JP Morgan Chase CEO, Jamie Dimon, Bill Ackman, head fund manager, as well as someone who's a big supporter of Trump. All of them have started talking about how Trump's tariff was weakening the market. Is there somewhere or the other a sense that all of this pressure that's coming in from different quarters is going to bear down on Trump? Or is he someone who's just going to look the other way? At least judging by his statements, that's what appears to be the case. At some point, will he have to give in to this?
I don't believe that he will, because he believes that he's right. And in spite of what anybody is going to say to him, and look, there certainly is a lot of concern about what's happening with the stock market. But if you just take Donald Trump out of the mix, because he's a disruptor and there's a lot of people who don't like him personally, put that aside for a moment and simply look at what he's saying. He's saying, is it fair that the United States has a 2% tariff rate and another country has a 25% tariff rate? How is that fair? And the answer is, it is not. So Trump is not wrong. The issue becomes now, how do you address it? And because Trump is a disruptor and the nature of who and what he is, he comes at you 100%. So to me, it is a game of chicken, which he believes he will win, as I said before. These situations can keep escalating. Remember, there's a lot of pain being felt by other world leaders. So they're going to have pressure on them. They're not going to just everybody blame Donald Trump. They're going to expect their leaders to respond in some way. And to keep going higher and higher with tariffs, not going to work.